Hello there, my name is Rachel. Lucky to talk about animation. Today we'll talk about Merry Little Batman. It's the DC animated movie was sort of cancelled and sold out to Paramount Video that nobody really knew was actually good, bad, or anything because how the animation looked like, how the trailer looked like. It looked sort of kind of terrible, but also kind of obvious. This was sort of a kind of spin-off sort of Batman for a very young audience, and yet people were sort of upset that not realizing, there are different versions of Batman that meant for a young audience or a family audience, and Merry Little Batman is specific for catered for them. But that said, they actually took the characters serious, or at least respect the characters what they are. In a way, yes and no, because Batman and Damian, or Bruce Wayne and Damian specifically, they have changed so much as a character for this animated movie. Instead of wondering, who are they? They're so completely different from the original Batman. It just sort of throws you off for a second because this Bruce Wayne, he sort of retired, took down crime, now lives a happy life with his son, who may one day take his place becoming Batman. And Damian, if you don't know who Damian is basically the first blood son of Batman. But Damian is sort of bloodthirsty, very awkward, very stuck up, but also sort of the Vegeta type of character who he thinks he is the best of everyone. Everything around him is beneath him because he is the son of Batman. He also the grandson of Ra's al Ghul. And that sort of arrogance, you want to hate him, but also respect him because he does deliver all the hype. But the difference is, this Damian acts like a kid. And some of you who don't know Damian are confused right now, or people who are not confused, let me explain that Damian is very awkward. He's very bloodthirsty. He's so rude to a lot of people because he doesn't know how to talk to them. And this version of Damian, he is sort of very kid-like. It's just sort of weird choice, a very unusual choice because it kind of throws you off because I'm so used to the angry, frustrated, he doesn't know what to do, talk to people Damian. This one just sort of a completely weird thing because this is not Damian at all. He's just a normal, rich 8-year-old son who wants to spend time with his father and also play as Batman, hoping to his father give him a chance to wear the costume or at least wear something of Batman because to prepare him becoming Batman. And that's it. That's his motivation, but his father, Bruce Wayne, doesn't really trust him or yet thinks he's not prepared becoming Batman because he's 8. But actually, the original Bruce Wayne kind of is the opposite, that he knows his son is ready, but not mentally ready. Physically, he is top notch. He can easily take his place, but he's not socially or understanding of people's emotions around him. So this is the reason why he never let him take main lead because he's still kind of figuring out who he's supposed to be. With all the kind of poison that Ra's al Ghul and Talia al Ghul kind of raised him sort of disturbed in a way that his father attempted to make him a good child or good man. And that's a sort of a weird take on this version of Damian because he just acts like a child. It's just sort of weird, especially if you're a Batman fan. Especially how this film is sort of slow a little bit because it takes sort of kind of Miyazaki approach. Like it takes its time to tell the story. Even once you know this new version of Bruce Wayne and Damian, even that you could argue they're not Bruce Wayne and Damian because they're just so different. But I have to counter, they're more acting like Batman 66. That you never heard Batman 66 is sort of their version of the 60s that's sort of trippy over a top. You probably seen the gag sort of clips like saying I can get rid of a bomb sometimes or shark repellent. That is basically Batman 66. It feels they take so much inspiration of Batman 66. They did their own thing, but they added a twist like the Schumacher type of films. If you don't know which the Schumacher movies are, the version they make 4 movies on the 90s. The first 2 made by Tim Burton, the last 2 made by Schumacher, but the last 2 people really hate. Even Schumacher apologized how bad that 2 movies really are, but it did it in a way it's sort of interesting and kind of fun. Even that I highly disagree how the portrayal these 2 characters are. it's still charming. It's one of those like I wanted to hate it, but the more I keep watching, the more I started liking it because it was preparing you to enjoy it. Even that this film feels a little bit too long because it has an hour and 30 minutes long, and you need to at least cut maybe 10 minutes. Like yeah, about maybe 10, maybe 15, because the very beginning takes a little while to really start the story because the whole story is basically Damien trying to get his buckle, his basically bat buckle from Riddler's henchman, not really a Joker henchman, and now he started pursuing them and find out what happened to his belt buckle afterwards. But at the same time, it was sort of a trap for the original Batman to leave all of Gotham so they could terrorize Gotham. And the only person left in Gotham City is Damian Wayne, who tried to look for his belt buckle, but at the same time stopped the Joker and all the civil villains who attempted to ruin Christmas. And he also kind of make let's say Damien to grow up to realize it's not the belt buckle becoming Batman, it's you, the one who realized what is the most important, not the belt buckle himself. And that's sort of the theme of the whole film, realizing what is important. Of course, I really enjoy that sort of Christmas aesthetic because this movie really tries to give you that Christmas feel because it does feel something like Home Alone meets Batman, but more Batman 66 and the Schumacher with a lot of little kind of references and Easter eggs here and there, but not the basic ones. The ones that you know Batman 66 or the Schumacher versions, you see the references and you laugh because this does have kind of a dark sense of humor because there have some scenes that kind of make you laugh. For example, Damien trying to, I think, unplug a microwave with ice cream or something like that, but he almost died. But he has a wall of the time that Damian Wayne lives, 37 Grim Reaper 0. And I laugh about that because he put a little line like another one like 36, 38. Yeah. That's sort of weird, kind of dark humor that actually worked pretty well. But at the same time, I understand if you're a Batman fan, you're not used to this sort of versions of it, you feel sort of disappointed. But also realize there are a lot of different versions of Batman. And this version feels more 66. If you like 66 Batman, you really enjoy it because they don't try to make it super dark, but they have really dark moments. Like they want to make it sort of kind of safe enough, but enough to make it kind of dark and heavy metal. I mean, heavy metal. Every time they have a fight scene or something really radical, they put sort of rock, punk, metal, or kind of rock aesthetic music just to feel the intensity of the movie, of the action. Even as a basic action, it works. Of course, the only complaint I said before is sort of the pacing that sort of was obvious because they needed to be very slow at the very beginning to let you in with the new characters because it doesn't feel like Bruce Wayne and Bruce Wayne's son Damien because they feel so different. Even the Joker, this version, feels a little different, but yet it still feels like a Joker. Bruce Wayne still feels Bruce Wayne. It takes a little while to feel like Damien. They feel like Bruce or the Joker. It takes its time to really adjust this new version to make them like them. And the way it actually does work, but at the same time, I'm not here to convince you to watch it. If you're one of those sort of Batman fans who are just sort of curious, like the animation, does it fail? Not really, because the whole movie feels like a Christmas kind of carol or Christmas scrapbook. They trying to aim that sort of angle that it really works, especially you're surprised when they do the action. They have quite a few action scenes, but nothing like hand-to-hand combat. Sort of point A to point B sort of chase scenes, but done very well. It's something that sort of surprised me. Yeah, I think that's the best way to describe it. It just surprisingly charming. That's the best way to describe it. Because at the very beginning, you want to crash and burn this film, but the more you keep watching, the more you have to admit, yeah, I kind of like this. It's one of those films you really want to hate, but you can't because it delivered what it says. It's a Christmas Batman special. Or a half special. It didn't need to be that long, but it delivered. Of course, if you're a Batman fan, you hoping you have more time with the villains And not really. It's more like little cameos of each several villain, just to sort of maybe a nod here or not. Like for example, Mr. Freeze, they have a nod as the Arnold Schwarzenegger version of Mr. Freeze, the Schumacher version. Yeah, he sounds like Arnold, or at least the accent of him. So yeah, they have little moments just to give it a little personality, but not enough to make you remember them. Only a few villains, because you have like about 5 or 6 iconic villains reappearing, but not enough to make you stay there. Other than that, I really cannot recommend it or recommend it. It's just a very friendly Batman that I recommend even you're sort of open-minded. If you like Batman, if you're open-minded to give it a try just for a little bit, I have to say yes. If you're that type of Batman, you have to be dark and grim. This is not my Batman. I'm not gonna convince you. I mean, honestly, but you like me, you're willing to try it. This is for you. Now, anything else? Honestly, I can't say. I just did enjoy the film. A little strange you have this sort of scrapbook, but it works. That's probably the only two complaints. The scrapbook kind of animation and the pacing. The rest is surprisingly good. That's all I can say. Now I got nothing else to say. Just thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and have a wonderful day. Bye.